أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد.
I repeat, if one of the co-partners is not a responsible person, is insane or under the age of maturity, or this person acted by mistake, lethal retaliation qisas is not imposed on any of them, right? As per the madhab. And we mentioned the other riwayah of Imam Ahmad. We said that riwayah states that it's similar to our first example, wherein a person was a Muslim and a non-Muslim got together to kill a non-Muslim. The Muslim wouldn't be killed, obviously, because this was for the killing of a non-Muslim. As for his partner who was Christian, he would be put to death. So if the partner there was put to death, because no reason not to put him to death, there's no reason to negate that option from the family of the deceased. They have that option. So if that option was there in that example, then here also the kid, we won't put him to death, or that option is not there because he's immature. As for the other, well then why is there no reason? I mean, there is no reason for us to say that there is no reason for us to negate the option of qisas from him, because he intended and the man was killed, so we can apply it. And that's the riwayah from Imam Ahmad. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. The author continues and states, وَإِنْ أكره الرجل رجلا على القتل فقتل أو جرح أحدهما جرحا والآخر 100. If a man compels, right, he doesn't just order, but he compels someone. He holds a gun to your head and orders you to kill someone. He compels you to kill someone. And so this person kills, or one of the two inflicts a single wound and the other inflicts 100. So you hit the guy in the head one time and your friend did it 100 times and the man died. Or one of them cuts off the hand from the wrist and the other an arm from the elbow. They are both murderers, and retaliation is incumbent on both of them. Qisas is an option on both of them. So I repeat, one of them held a gun to the other and he said, if you don't kill him, I will kill you. So he shot to save his life. He will be put to death. One of the options is qisas is available, is an option for him. Why? You don't kill someone else to save your own life. His life is equal to your life. You can't take his life to save your life. As for the person ordering the killing, he will also, the option for qisas is there on his head. Why? Because he was the one who forced. The second one, the author states, if one person hits the guy one time and the other hit him 100 times, both of them would be put to. Both of them, qisas is an option for both of them if the individual had died. Why? Because you're not sure which blow, was the severe blow. Technically, this person died by all of the blows coming together. One blow he would not have died, but put them all together, then this was what had taken his life. This is what caused his death. And so both of them would be put to death, or that option is available. Lastly, if one of them cuts off the hand, the other one cuts off the arm, both of them will also be put to death. Why? Because this was a severe injury and the person could lose his life through this, through either of the injuries. And so if both of them came together, then it was batil upon batil and darkness upon darkness, and both of them are responsible now that he's died. The author continues and states, if blood money is required, then both of them are equally liable for it. You say, but I only hit him one time and the other guy hit him 100 times. Now he died. The family wants the blood money. Do we pay half-half? Yes, we pay half-half. Why? Because we cannot divide this and say, well, you know what, you gave him 100 blows, so each blow is equal to this amount of blood money. No, he is dead. Blood money will be divided amongst both of the killers. The author continues and he states, وَإِنْ ذَبَحَهُ أَحَدُهُمَا ثُمَّ قُطِعَ الْآخَرِ يَدَهُ أَوْ قَدَّهُ نِصْفَيْنِ فَالْقَاتِلُ الْأَوَّلِ وَإِنْ قَطَعَهُ أَحَدُهُمَا ثُمَّ ذَبَحَهُ الثَّانِي قَطَعَ الْقَاطِعُ وَذُبِحَ الذَّابِحُ. If one of them, Jayid, if one of them slaughters the victim like an animal, Jayid, he slaughters the victim like an animal, and the other cuts off the hand or slices it in half, the murderer is the first person. Jayid. So you slaughtered this person, while he was being slaughtered, the other cut off their hand. Well, cutting off their hand would not probably take this man's life, but here it's clear that this man's life was lost by the actual slaughtering of him, the actual slaughter of this person. So that guy is the killer, and the other one will be punished. If one of them cuts the victim's hand, add in the word hand, if one of them cuts the victim's hand and the second slaughters him, the cutter is guilty for cutting, so his hand will be cut off, and the slaughterer is guilty of slaughtering, and he will be slaughtered, he will be put to death. One of them the hand will be cut off, qisas, and the other, the qisas will be that he will be killed. Either according to the madhab, he will be killed with the sword, or according to Ibn Taymiyyah and others, it will be done to him as he did to the victim. The author continues and he states, وَإِنْ أُمِرَ مَنْ يَعْلَمُ تَحْرِيمَ الْقَتْلِ بِهِ فقتل فالقصاص على المباشر ويؤدب الآمر وإن أمر من لا يعلم تحريمه أو به أو لا يميز فالقصاص على الآمر وإن أمسك إنسانا للقتل فقتل قتل القاتل وحبس الممسك حتى يموت. If someone commands someone else to kill, he didn't compel. When we discussed compel, we said the person who was compelled and the person who gave the order, both of them would be killed. Right? Here, one gave the order and the other followed on. If someone commands a person to kill, but he is not necessarily threatening you that if you don't kill, you will be put to death. No, he just gave the order. If someone commands the person to kill, when the killer, the person who actually does it, if he knows that it's haram to do this, and he goes ahead and he kills, then qisas is an option for him, and qisas is not an option for the one who gave the order. The one who gave the order would be punished in some way. As for the person who actually did the killing, qisas is an option upon his life. Why? Because you knew it's haram. How could you go ahead? And you were not forced in this matter. If someone commands a person to kill, when the person knows that the killing is unlawful and so he kills, retaliation is incumbent upon the perpetrator alone, and the commander is subjected to chastisement. In the previous example, the person was compelling, he held a gun to your head, so here he was pushing this, you didn't have an option, so it was like you were like an ala, you were just like a device. Both of you were put to death in the first example. Here, only the one who actually did it, you're giving the order, you'll be punished in another manner. Because the man had the option, you were not going to kill him if he didn't do the killing. Jayyid. The author continues and states, if he commands someone who does not know that it's haram, okay, slightly different. You ordered someone to kill and this person doesn't know halal from haram, or the person cannot really tell the difference, then retaliation is due on the commander. This person was jahil, he didn't know. He was a soldier there, he didn't really know what's halal and haram, or it's a youngster, it's a young boy, Jayid. And so you told him, pull the trigger, he pulled the trigger. He doesn't know what he's doing, he doesn't know halal from haram. You are responsible and not the kid, Jayid. What if it's not a kid? What if it's an adult? But this adult doesn't really know halal from haram and he pulls the trigger. He thought that this person, yes, this person was supposed to be put to death. You convinced him that this person is, his blood is halal, and so he followed your order. You will be put to death and not this person. So there's difference between the mubashir, the one who actually does it. If he knew it's haram to do, the responsibility upon him. If he didn't know it's haram to do, then there's no responsibility upon him in terms of qisas. Jayyid. If someone traps a person for the kill and so he is killed, the killer would be killed and the trapper will be imprisoned until he dies. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states, وَإِنْ عَاقَبْتُمْ فَعَاقِبُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا عُوقِبْتُمْ بِهِ. As you do will be done unto you. As you do to them. As they did, you do unto them. So one was the killer and the other was the person who caught. So the one who caught, we lock him up in jail for a long period of time. We also have the hadith which is da'if, which states, إذا أمسك الرجل وقتله الآخر ويقتل الذي قتل ويحبس الذي أمسك. If one caught the other for the other to kill, then the killer would be killed and the one who caught him would be locked up. This hadith reported by Imam al-Darqutni has some weakness in it. Also in the Musannaf al-Ibn Abi Shayba, this is the opinion of Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Other scholars made a distinction and they said, if you knew that he's asking you to catch the person so that he could kill the person unjustly, and you went ahead and you caught the person, then you are liable, no doubt. But if you didn't know that he wanted to kill the person, if you didn't know that this was unjust, then there is some sort of an excuse for you. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. We take the last chapter, inshaAllah. I know that time is almost up or is up, but the next chapter is a very short chapter and we will go through it very, very fast. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. The author states, Babul qawad min al-juruh, retaliation for wounds. What we've already discussed was with regards to taking the life of someone unjustly. What if you cut off the finger of someone? What happens here? Then your finger will be cut off. They have that option. He has that option. What if you cut off his leg? Then he has that option of asking for your leg to be cut off. وَالْجُرُوحَ قِصَاص. In these wounds, there's also qisas, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states. Surah Ma'idah verse 45 states, وَكَتَبْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ فِيهَا أَنَّ النَّفْسَ بِالنَّفْسِ, and we prescribe for them a life for a life. وَالْعَيْنَ بِالْعَيْنِ, an eye for an eye. وَالْأَنْفَ بِالْأَنْفِ, a nose for a nose. وَالْأُذُنَ بِالْأُذُنِ, an ear for an ear. وَالسِّنَّ بِالسِّنِّ, a tooth for a tooth. وَالْجُرُوحَ قِصَاص, and all other wounds similar to that. Okay, there's qisas for all of those wounds. Surah Ma'idah verse 45. The author states, يجب القود في كل عضو بمثله فيؤخذ العين بالعين والأنف بالأنف وكل واحد من الجفن والشفة واللسان واليد والرجل والذكر والأنثيين بمثله. For each limb, for each member of the body, for each limb of the body, qisas, retaliation or qawad is incumbent upon the same member of the assailant's body, or rather is one of the options. He could ask for the diya, he could ask for the cutting of that limb, or he could forgive from the assailant's body. The eye is thus taken for an eye, the nose for a nose, and each of the following for its counterpart. The eyelid for an eyelid, the lip for a lip, the tongue for a tongue, a tooth for a tooth, the hand for a hand, the foot for a foot, the private organ, penis for penis, the testicles the same, and likewise every part of which it is possible, important, and every part for which it is possible to inflict the same retaliation, the same qisas, as you did will be done to you if it's possible. But there are certain wounds where it's not possible. He broke your bone, we can't break his bone. Why? Because breaking his bone, we're not sure. It might be greater than what pain you were inflicted with. It might break in a way that the broken parts, etc., are much more than that which was done upon the victim. So the qa'idah, the principle is, we do unto the assailant, we do unto the offender as he did to the victim, if possible, if qisas, if the exact can be achieved. The following preconditions must be met. The author states, وَيَعْتَبِرُ كَوْنُ الْمَجْنِي عَلَيْهِ مُكَافِئًا لِلْجَانِي. The victim of the crime must be equal in status in terms of religion and liberty to the perpetrator. So, if the Muslim cut the hand of a non-Muslim, will not cut off the hand of the Muslim. If a free man cut off the hand of the slave, we will not cut off the hand of the free man, as we discussed previously. وَكَوْنُ الْجِنَايَ عَمْدًا. Number two, it must have been committed amdan, with deliberate intent. So this here is similar to when we talked about qatlun nafs in the first category. Amdan, he did the cutting of the hand intentionally, deliberate intent. So if it was shibhu amd, if it was a mistake, if it was he tried to harm you, he was playing around with the sword and he tried to just cut your hand, but he chopped off the entire hand, then if there was no deliberate intent, then it would be shibhu amd, and there would not be any qisas option, as we previously discussed. والأمن من التعدي بأن يقطع من المفصل أو حد ينتهي إليه كالموضحة وهي التي تنتهي إلى العظم. Third one, that there must be, adjust your translation, there must be safety from excess. Jayid, like example, one of the examples where there is safety from excess, cutting off at a joint, cutting off at a joint. So you lost your arm at the joint, and so here in retaliation we can cut off this person's arm at the joint. A limit that can be attained, like the kind of incision that lays the bone bare. So just the translation. There must be safety from excess. Like an example where safety can be achieved is cutting off at the joint, or a limit that can be attained like an incision which lays the bone bare. So he for example injured you on the head until the point where we could see the bone, we could see the bone under here, so we can do the same to this person. So there is an end point that can be attained. When he injured you, we were able to see the bone. We can do the same to him until we see the bone, because we can attain this, we can achieve this. There's a point, there's a level that we're aiming for, that we can get to.